get your brushes, go get your paint. This is how you do it the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear all I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hey guys, it's Shoshie and it is Friday. Hello! We're painting today. We're painting holiday things from Kingdom Death because it is the 25th of December, which is a big holiday for some people. I wonder what holiday it is. Merry Christmas to all of my friends who celebrate Christmas. I really hope that you guys are having a good holiday. Yay! McLeod is here. Match Fixer AU. Match Fixer, are you in Australia? Or is AU just on there? Thank you for subscribing. I'm going to write you down, by the way, because you were the first subscriber of the day. Match Fixer. Thank you so much, AU. There we go. Who else is here with us? Oh, I got an emote from you, Match Fixer. I got the 2020 shh. Yay, Rumble is here. Ashkadillin, yay. And that is awesome. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We're going to be painting more Kingdom Death Holiday. Look at this. I finished her. Well, not quite. We're almost done with her. But this is the Kingdom Death. What's her name? This is the model. Look, I did pretty good. Pretty close, huh? Booty. Booty. What is it? She is the Christmas holiday Santa Satan. That's what she is. That is very Kingdom Death. You're in Perth. Oh my gosh, it's 4:45 a.m. Well, thank you so much for joining us from down under. Yes. So I've got a couple, since I'm almost done with her, we're just going to clean her up and finish her. And then I've got 3 other models I'm going to let chat choose which is the next model. I have a feeling you're going to want this one. This is another one with a lot of booty. Oh, this is the one that's such a pain in the tuchus. Look at how small that is supposed to attach. I might have to super glue that and see if that fits on there. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. All right, let me open up. I'm debating on opening up a new bottle. Sometimes when let's just put some super glue on this. Whoa, that was too much. Belle, hello. I'm so glad you're here. How are you? All the way from Belgium. Are you having a good holiday? I'm going to get some quick, what's this called? It's called Instaset. Yes. All right, I'm going to have to relearn how to pronounce your name. Parige. I think that's how I said it. Oh man. Take off my glasses so I can glue this. I'm gonna have to add some kind of, yeah, that doesn't work very well. It's supposed to be kind of tipped like this. Oh, that's why. Okay. Maybe it will stick. We'll put another, yeah, we gotta put another blob of super glue on it. And try again. Yada-da. This time we'll put it on the base of this. There we go. There. Now it should fit. And then I'm going to add some putty to that. That didn't do anything, did it? Dang it. Boo. This is one of the more difficult models. Sometimes models have like there's paint on the end of that one. Sometimes there's no contact point. All right, let's try it again. Let's see what happened was the super glue set too quickly. Okay, try this again with the Instaset. The Instaset always makes the bond a little weaker. There we go. See if I can make this work. All right, I think that's gonna work this time. I'm just gonna hold it, and then we'll apply some putty after the fact. Yay, I did it. Okay, let's do a poll. Find out what you guys want me to paint. I've got these 3 girls that we're gonna paint for our holiday. It's time for Google. Okay, I'm gonna do the pear cider Google Translate. Hold on. My holidays are good. Amberden, glad to see you're the only one who occasionally has trouble sticking models together. Or you're not the only one. Don't worry about that. All right, we're going to put Google Translate. We're going to do switch this and Pereijsje. We're going to all learn how to say pear ice cream in Dutch together. Okay? This is how you say pear ice cream in Dutch. Pereijsje. Pear ice cream. That's awesome. All right, pear ice cream. And this is how I say it, because I'm going to learn to say it.
Pereijsje.
Pereijsje. Let me do it again.
Pereijsje.
Pereijsje. Pereijsje. That is so pretty sounding. I love it. Some languages feel like good on my brain. Like it's interesting. The Australian accent feels really good on my brain. It sounds like music to me. It feels like music, the Australian accent. Ah. It's very good tasting. Yeah, pear ice cream sounds amazing. Are they candied pears? Are they stewed and cooked before you put it on the ice cream? Pereijsje. Christmas. Benjamin, do you know what Jews do for Christmas? We get Chinese food in the US. I already had my allotment of Chinese food. Pereijsjes. Look up on Google, Festine Pereijsje. You'll see the form I come. Oh, okay, I'm gonna look. Festini. That sounds like festival. Now I need to look up Festini. Did I spell it right? Spell it right? Yeah. Feasts. It means feasts. That sounds good. I'm going to look it up. Festini Pereijsje. Let's look at... Oh, yummy. It's like a popsicle. Guys, look at this. It's like a Festini Pereijsje. It's a pear ice cream popsicle. That looks really good. Yum. They blended some pears with some syrup and then freeze it. That sounds good. This is the Christmas Twilight Night. This is the small Satan Santa. And this is the white speaker Nico. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to vote on which one they want to paint. Give me a second to pull up the poll. Hold on a minute. Manage a poll. Here we go. Which model shall we paint? Let's view the results. Let's see. We might need to change this. Okay, we're going to do a new poll. So the new choices, we're gonna do which model shall we paint? Hold on a second. All right, question mark. There we go. And then we get to choose. Choose number 1 is going to be the Twilight Night, Holiday Twilight Night. Holiday Twilight Night. There we go. Now I have caps lock on. Twilight Night. Oops. Number 2 is the Mini Santa Satan. I'm just going to put Mini Santa because I don't think it will accept it otherwise. And then number 3 is White Speaker Nico. Holiday Nico. We'll say Holiday Nico. Okay, I'm going to let you vote for more than one. Wait, I don't want to do that. Okay, we're just going to I don't know if it'll let you vote for more than one or not. We'll do a 5-minute poll. There you go. You guys, let me know if you can see it. And so you guys have 5 minutes to vote on which model you want to see me paint. There she is again. This is this one. That one has an art card. And then we've got secret, what is this? Santa. So we could have both the Santas done. Or White Speaker Nico has a card as well. Let me find her card so you can see. There she is. Isn't she pretty? A little bit tied up there. Some other kind of holiday spirit, I guess, right? Okay. Rubenati, thank you for following me. Hey. Peanut butter balls rolled, covered in chocolate coating. That sounds really good. Hold on, hi, Sneaky. Happy holidays. The only time you had Chinese food in the States from your friends assured you it was good takeaway. It was terrible. Well, you know what? It depends on the place you go. You know, some Chinese foods are Americanized, so they're not as spicy or they're not as authentic. I have a question. I have a question for my Christmas celebrating friends. Spear just said Happy Christmas. How come we usually say Merry Christmas in the United States? Is Happy Christmas a European or a UK thing? Or do you guys do you use both? Or do you just say Happy Christmas? I'm curious. Benjamin made Buckeyes. Okay, so Buckeyes are so good. They're like a peanut butter ball. You roll them and then you dunk them in the chocolate so there's just a little bit of the peanut butter showing and it looks like like a Buckeye. But they taste so good. You had a nice dinner with parents and grandma. Aw, that's so nice, Sneaky. Do you have any pictures, Benjamin, of your Buckeyes? Because since we didn't have any stream on Wednesday, we can do Whip Trip Wednesday today. We'll do Whip Trip Christmas. Say that 3 times fast. Whip Trip Christmas. Trip, 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 trip. Buckeyes, a tasty treat. I'm gonna write down ! Whip Trip so everybody can share anything you want to do with like food or the holidays or anything fun. If you painted anything new, please share. I want to see all your food pictures because I know you guys had some food last night. Yes, we learned to say peraji. Peraji? Did I say it right? Peraji. Pear ice cream. Because one of our followers is named Peraji. Trader says Buckeyes. Yes, tasty treat, but the team less so. We say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, but who says Happy Christmas? That's mostly UK people, right? They have been delivered to relatives. Okay. Good evening, Double Fruity. It is a lovely day. It was really nice. Mike and I went on a walk outside and it wasn't too cold. Yesterday's weather and Wednesday's weather were crazy. We had winds up to 50 miles an hour. What were the knots, Mike? Do you remember? Do you remember the knots, Mike?
Huh?
Do you remember the knots of the wind?
When are you talking about?
Wednesday.
It was like 50 miles an hour.
30 to 50.
Gusting to 50.
Gusting to 50. So 30 miles an hour, but gusting to 50. So we ended up having like 4 or 5 power outs, which is why I didn't stream. Because that would have been super annoying to have that. Perenige is sort of pronounced Perenige. Oh, yummy. Oh, Emberden, you have us right now. We are all with you. We are in your living room or wherever you are. Lazing about where your cousins cook. Nope, Happy Christmas is rare. It's far more usual to say Merry Christmas. That's what I thought. Yeah, let's all hope. Aw, okay, so Holiday Nico. That's a surprise. Holiday Nico won the poll. 44%, 4 votes for Nico. Let me check. let's look at the poll. Let's see. So the vote breakdown was 4 votes for Holiday Nico, 3 votes for Holiday Twilight Night, and 2 votes for Mini Santa. Awesome. Okay. Very cool. Then we get some metal going. All right, let's go. Let's start painting Holiday Nico. This is going to be fun. She's little, so she won't take very long to paint. She's a little bitty girl. All right, first of all, I want to point out there's lots of places for OSL on this model, and we already started putting in the skin here. But notice, I want you to see where the OSL is. I want to also point out, do you guys see the OSL from the holiday lights? I did that with a little dry brushing, and I think it turned out pretty nice. Oh, her little lantern is a little bit loose. I also did a little dry brushing on her knees. That came out great. So we might do that on this as well. Hi, Rainer. You like to book a trend and say, Hoopy Xmas Holiday Festivus Krampusnacht? Krampusnacht. Trader Legions, hello. Spear just subscribed. Spear, how are you doing? Okay, I want to everybody put your foods and your models that you've been working on in the Whip Trip gallery. We're going to do Whip Trip because we didn't get to do it on Wednesday. Okay, Spear, 1959. I'm so glad you guys are here. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream today or not because, you know, the weather's been crazy. Yay, thank you for the cheer, McLeod. That's so nice. All right, let's look back here. We've got a whole bunch of bases. I think, oh no, I just noticed something. Her face got a little bit jacked up with some paint somehow. Oh, it looks like it's everywhere. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out some white primer, a little bit of white primer. We're gonna put on the airbrush mask and the gloves, and we're gonna airbrush a little bit of this OSL in here to start. Hey, Shaken 1334. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Nice having the day to hang out, exactly. I've got a new airbrush, but I don't know where I put it. I'll have to look for it. I got a brand new Badger Patriot 105 because my other one was getting pretty clogged. But currently I have, this is my Adepticon 2017 special brush. Let's turn it on. Okay, we're all set. I'm gonna put a little bit of thinner. Where is it? Aha, found it. I always put, I don't know if you do this, Rainer, or not, but I always put a little thinner in the cup and run it through the airbrush so that it kind of, it's like it primes it and gets it ready for paint. All right, I'm gonna put my mask on once I find it. I think it's, there it is. Thought it might have fallen, but it didn't. Are you guys excited for the 31st or the 30th? Are you excited for the 30th? Do you know what's happening the 30th? Say something in chat if you know what's happening on the 30th. Some of you know. Some of you know. Tell me if you're excited. Hold on, I'm going to take off my mask or take off my headphones. You don't know? Somebody knows what's happening on the 30th. Specifically related to the Shoshie's Minis brand. We've been talking about it. Yeah, there's some hype. Heck yes. Okay, Sneaky, tell people. You have to work. Oh no. Yes, we're having the big boy giveaway. We're having a big giveaway. We're having a huge giveaway. Somebody do my exclamation point get notice 2. I think it's get exclamation point get notice 2. Or no, sorry, notice get 2. Sorry, flip that around. And the Patreon. I'm going to try to make sure the Patreon goes live. There we go. There's my giveaway. Check out that giveaway. Oh, your wife's birthday. Oh, happy birthday. The Patreon I'm hoping it's going to go live. The giveaway is going to be that day as well. It's going to be really exciting. All right. Shoshie is in the house. Okay. Now, we can put this back on. Oh, snap. I'm excited. I'm almost ready to make the Patreon happen. All right, see the spidering? Can you see the little spidering? We need to put in some paint. There we go. We're going to use the primer because it's basically primer is paint. So we're going to just put a little bit in there, and I'm going to stir it up a little bit. It's a little bit too thin. I'm going to dump that actually and add a little bit more. Okay, let's stir that now. Okay. And we're going to spray this, and hopefully it won't spider. That is perfect. You guys see how it makes a perfect little dot? So now we're going to take our and I'm going to spray everywhere, and I'm going to spray the tops of these faces as well. So they have more definition, so you guys can see those better now. Okay, so these little lanterns. See that OSL popping up? There's another little lantern right there. Make sure. See, and then there's a little candle, and I'm just going to spray straight down on top of that candle. And same thing with each one of these. And there's a nice bright lantern right there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and get her face, because I want to hide some of that mess that I made. This lantern is shining right there on her body. There we go. All right. Her hair is also white. Okay. Uh-oh, it got a little heavy. Might as well do it everywhere. Go heavy. Get some contrast. That works. See that? Okay, again, the lantern. Candle light on this side. That is so much better already. And I'm just using the white to smooth out some spots on her skin that got a little crazy. Okay. Much better. Okay. Much, much better. The white dries on the tip really well. There. Ah! Okay. So far, so good. Now I'm going to go straight down over the top of that lantern so I can make sure to get that. See how it's... Yeah, it's going to be good. Did I find a caster? I have a couple in mind, Amberden, but it's nothing set in stone yet because I still need to get it sculpted. So I have plenty of time. I have to get things sculpted, and then it's going to be all good. Alright, so I cleaned out most of that, and I'm going to go in with my spray-through brush cleaner. Okay. Go ahead and scrub the sides real quick. And I'll end up dumping this because I don't want any of that floaty bits to be going through my brush. See, it still needs a little scrubby scrub. Okay. Good. Now, put a little bit more of that in there. When it starts running clean, now it will probably run a lot more clean. Yes, it is. Whip Trip uses work in progress channel. No, Sneaky, we use the live image gallery. If you type, Keppa, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Type exclamation point Whip Trip and you can put your pictures in the gallery. Yes, cool, thank you. We got paint. I don't know how I got paint all that over the outside of my brush. Have you been having a good holiday, Keffa? I know that you're probably home for the week, right? pt1 Marquee. I think that's how you say that. Yeah, post in live image gallery. That's our gallery. Okay. Let's go ahead and put some more spray through. See, it's much more clean. There we go. Spraying right through. Now, for my OSL, I'm going to use a little bit of this mixed with a little bit of white. Let's see if I can do this. Where'd my white primer go? You're home, but everything is canceled, Gramps. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh no. How did I not know that? I'm so sorry, Keppa. You're just wearing PJs and relaxing. That makes sense. Yeah, you sounds like you deserve a relaxing day. Let's get the little... I love peeling off paint off the lids of my stuff. Oh, it's been a year, hasn't it? All right, we're going to mix some of yellow. See how yellow that is? Very bright. I'm going to mix a little bit of white with it because I just want something soft. And I'm going to put that, let's mix those two together, get a nice soft yellow. That might be enough. I might need a tiny... I'm not going to add any thinner because I think the paint is thin enough, but maybe we'll... Let's see. Yes, it will get better. There we go. Soft yellow. And we're just going to hit the top. Top of that and the little glow of the lantern. There you go. And then straight down where the lantern is giving a soft yellow light. See that? And that works out perfect. Okay, and then the same, uh-oh, did I miss? Okay, so there's another little lantern right here. And you see how that softness hits that white? And it looks really good like that. This big lantern right here, it's a little bit clogged. Hold on. Oh, that's so nice, Beau. We have such a nice community here. Now, as it gets further away from the direct lantern, it gets a little softer. So I'm pulling back with my brush. And I'm just giving it this little dusting. Dusting is the correct. Just a little dusting of that soft glow of yellow. See how it's looking more soft. There we go. And then this one, there's another little lantern right here. Nothing's coming out. Uh-oh, because there's no paint. That's why. Let's put a little thinner in there. And then stir it. And then we're going to do our little test. Perfect. It's a little spidery, but if I hold it back far enough, it'll be okay. Alright, see how everything looks like that? Alright, so far, so good. Okay. Now, I want to do something with purple because we've got that beautiful yellow. Let's look at the art card. Very dark and gray. Well, what do you think? I think we'll go with the art card and we'll go with gray. It's interesting. Let's see what happens. Yes, everybody here is so good. This is a good place to be. Must try OSL. It is daunting, but Spear, just play with it. Get some things and just practice a little dry brush. Because I think dry brush OSL is a good way to kind of get the idea of it. Does that make sense? Wait, hold on, I'm going to move this. Get the crusty yellow off the side of the cup. Oh, Hanukkah's over, dear. Hanukkah was like last week or something. But thank you. And it doesn't really matter how you spell it because it's from a Hebrew alphabet, which we don't use, so it's phonetic. But pretty much any way you say it is how you spell it. Oh, thanks, Lady B. I hope your holiday is really good. Okay. Now, so we're good on this. I want to do the gray. I think I will do some dry brush. Exclamation point with no space, Kefa. Just all one word. That's how you get it. Holiday is great. I didn't have bad gastro. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. You know what? You don't want to have gastro on a holiday. Alright, where's my gray? Gray, 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 gray. Bright neutral gray. That's not dark enough. Let's do, no, here we go, dark neutral gray. And I'm going to add, no, I'm just going to go with this because we're going to go with the art card. We're going to dry brush. We're going to do some dry brushing. maybe. I'm going to take my mask off here a second. No, gallbladder, everything greasy. Oh, yeah. So I have a story to tell about my mom. So she had a bad gallbladder and was dealing with it for a while. And then one day she went on a trip. And when she came back on the trip, see this? I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to glaze in this gray. I got to take my glasses off. Hopefully, oh, see, it's too opaque. How am I going to do this? Spread it out with water. There we go. See, when we glaze it with a little bit of water, see how the white underneath shows through, and it looks perfect. Anyway, so my mom was on a trip and she was coming back, and as she was getting off the train, she started to have kind of a gallbladder attack or something. And the man reached up to her and said, do you need, like helped her off the train. And she said, do you need to go to the hospital? And she's like, well, I'm waiting for my husband. And he said, I am your husband. It was my dad. That was how bad her gallbladder attack was. She didn't even recognize her own husband. So definitely take care of your little body. Be careful with the greasy foods if you're going to have a gallbladder attack. That's not so good. Oh, look at how pretty that just glazed over. And the yellow shines through and everything. It's lovely. We're just glazing. That gray is pretty. So, but yeah, that story is interesting, isn't it? It just goes to show you. So by glazing it, it also kind of settles down in the crevices of everything. Need a little bit more water. That's pretty. I like that. Okay. I'm going to get in here in the back because that's going to look really good dark up against everything. See how that yellow shines through? We're just doing a little swipe. Ooh, I didn't notice that mad face right there underneath. That's why he's mad, because he's got a knife through his head. That's funny. I like that idea that maybe the stone faces have some kind of personality behind them. That's pretty. Oh, very pretty. We need to go darker back here. Underneath. See? Oh, can I even reach that? There's a nice cat hair right here. Got it. Let me check chat. Yeah, gallbladder attack is terrible. KDM again. Minnie is homoerotic in stature? It is? Is it? I guess if maybe you're having a little bi panic, Lady B. That's what they call it. It's just joking though. That's what they call it on the TikTok. Uh-oh, you know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing it's drying a little funny, so don't know how that's gonna. We might have to go back and airbrush again. That is okay if I have to do that. I might as well get in here. Ah, no! I just blurped it. Okay. There we go. We're just getting this gray worked up. I'm gonna have to definitely go back in with my OSL and fix that. That's okay. because I should have put my gray in here in the first place. So this is what I'm going to do to fix it. I'm just going to go all the way straight up gray where I need it. And then I'm going to come back with my airbrush again so I can hit the light spots. See, that's already coming together. All right. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. And we'll go ahead and the bottom of her feet is supposed to be like kind of bloody, because look at this. There's like red around her feet. Take me away. You're not invited. That's awesome. Take my body. Yep, I agree. That's KDM for you. I'm going to add a little bit of this again. So I'm going to do a little tiny thinner, just a tiny bit. All right. And we need the white because we need it to be a little opaque. Where'd the white go? Here it is. Yeah, I'm working my way through all of the holiday KDM models, although we haven't gotten very far. We've gotten we've gotten the Twilight. I'll show it to you. The Twilight, or sorry, the Holiday Satan is about all we've done. This is it. Isn't she cute? Look at this one. So cute. Santa Booty. Da, 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 da. She's got this weird backpack full of crying babies. It's really bizarre. And she's telling them to shush because she's going down the chimney with it. It's a weird model. Lady B, I love, love, love KDM. It's my kind of vibe. By the way, the pinups from KDM have gone out already. Yeah, thank you, Lady B. Oh, that is so much better right there. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to put my mask on. There we go. All right. Whew. Now it looks good on the gray. This is one of those things that would take me forever if I just painted it, right? So that's why I'm happy that I'm able to do the airbrush. Yeah, that looks pretty dang good if I say so for myself. Okay, what do you think? That helped a lot, didn't it? Cuteness. All right, now I need to clean this. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lady B. That sounds like a miserable time. So, I have a funny story, Lady B, that might amuse you. I found this very specific Facebook group called Jewbook colon-posting. It's for Jews that have gastric or like intestinal distress. And anxiety and food intolerances are very common among Jews. So and it's a very humorous group too. I think that you would get a kick out of it. Hold on, I'm going to show you. Wait. One of the memes that I've been finding in it are just hilarious. Do I have one of the memes? Yes, I do. This is one of the memes. You have been visited by the poo shrew. He will bless your next poo so you may smile. And I apologize to anybody who gets, you know, sicked out by that, but I find it hilarious. Is that some kind? I bet that's some kind of Australian animal, isn't it? Was it a shrew? It wasn't a shrew, was it? I thought you would like that. If you can't laugh about it, right? I know my UK friends like a little bit of potty humor. There we go. All right. I have a lot of little crusties in this one. There we go. Got it off. Benjamin's. Everybody's posting the gecko. I figure if you're here for KDM, then not a lot's gonna faze you, right? In your spare time, you're Crusher, the amount posts you've seen of people drinking. Oh no! It is tame. And it's cute too, right? It's so funny. All right, look, we're like ready to go on this one now. She doesn't have a lot of color. So let's go in and paint up the candles that are red. Let's do all the little red candles. We're going to start with a little bit of mahogany for our darkness. Dark red. I like to start my red with a dark base. All right. I think I can shut my airbrush off, but I'm not going to just yet. I'm going to take my gloves off though. Might be. Who knows? I'm not going to guess. I don't want to know. The reason why, I'll tell you why I got into Kingdom Death. It's not because of anything. It's because, I'll be really honest, when I first started painting, I looked around and I saw how much of a glut the miniature world was full of sexualized female models, including Kingdom Death. And so I went to Gen Con in 2015, and I was not a Kingdom Death fan at the time. This brush, I think it might need, yeah, it's not wanting to point on me. Hold on, let me find another brush. Unless I can get this one to point. Maybe. Okay, there we go. All right, that's sort of pointed. I might have to get a different brush. Anyway, point is that I went to the Kingdom Death booth and I was kind of complaining a little bit. I was like, yeah, this is great and all, but you know what? You need to really think about making sexualized male models. And Adam Poots got really excited and he said, we are going to. He said it was a little bit more difficult because of the way society looks at male sexuality, and it's not viewed the same, and so there's kind of a little bit of a line that you have to draw, and he was still looking to find that line and figure out what is going to be, you know, acceptable. But the fact that he was even going to try, that's what sold me, and that's why I'm such a big Kingdom Death fan. And so I started supporting Kingdom Death, and then I just kind of fell in love with the game after Mike got me to play the demo at Kingdom Death. And so then it was the game, you know, the game itself is so much fun and hilarious. And it reminded me a lot of these old style games in the 90s and the 80s that I played, where, you know, you always died a lot. Okay, see where this yellow is coming up on there? I'm getting a little bit thinner with my mahogany there because I want to remind myself that my red's going to get a lot more bright on that section. So yeah, that is why I'm a Kingdom Death fan. Not because I'm into, you know, naughty models so much, but because that he was willing to, you know, go against the norm. And that's actually probably a big reason why I'm going to be doing my own line of models soon, is because since 2015, yeah, thanks Lamunas, that's so nice. Yeah, the Titan Bee is memorable. Yeah, there, I think the dried paint is in the it was in the, what do you call it, the ferrule. It was in here and I couldn't, it was splitting the brush. So anyway, yeah, so now 5 years later, nobody but Adam is still doing what I wanted somebody in the industry to do. So I'm going to do it myself. And so, but I'm still really, we really do owe Kingdom Death for being that first pioneer. My models won't be nearly as lewd as the Kingdom Death boys. Because I still feel like there's a happy medium in there. And then once we get done with the first 6 models being like sexy male figures of different body types and, you know, qualities, then we're going to go into some different male tropes that you don't see. You know, we don't often see a male father or a male son or a male brother. Well, I don't even know why I said male after. Anyway, we don't see those tropes. We see the warrior over and over and over again. We see the wizard. We see the old man, but, you know, we don't usually see the gentle side of masculinity. And that's something I'm looking to explore with my model line. Because there's a power in that, you know, in that gentle side that we don't ever see in the miniature world. So I'm painting this candle. There we go. Oh, I just noticed it's maybe supposed to have, yeah, it's supposed to have dripping wax off the sides. Give me a second. I'm going to look at chat. I just want to get this candle so I don't have to fix it later. Okay, checking chat. You know what I like to paint? A cool, marvelous Marvel Colossus. Yeah, but that cowman that gets milked. What? Big booty boys. You guys, stop it. I can't do Colossus because that's licensed. I'm gonna do my own models, Rumble. But I know what you're saying. Anything with a license, I'm not going to be doing. I believe in copyright karma, and I don't want to get zapped, or zacked, whatever, zapped. That's the other thing that bugs me about the miniature industry. So many people are using licensed figures and without a license, and it's basically art theft. You know, and they don't think of it like that. It's no different than recasting, to be honest. There was a company that basically, oh shoot, let's see if we can get that off there real quick. Oh good, man. If you're quick, a lot of times you can fix a model like that. I just got a little bit of burgundy paint on her. All right. This is so tricky. This one here, right here. This is why I got a small brush, but I'm still getting it everywhere. Okay. Much better. We're almost... Uh-oh, I think the postman might be here. There. I need to check the art card real quick. Nope. Okay, so there's a little thing around her shin here that is not red. Okay. I'm gonna leave everything else nice. Oh, there's a little spot I missed. All right, that looks good. She also has like a little gem in the center here. And these candles are all also red. When I finish the candles, I'll come back and look at chat. I like that wax right there. There we go. I'm pretty sure the first time I painted this on stream, because I painted this one, I speed painted it. Do you guys remember that? We're not speed painting this time. We're taking our time. Oh, I found another section of red. Yeah. The model that I speed painted was pre-built. Somebody sent it to me. It was already built. And, oh, there's another candle back there I just found. Little one. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. Okay. Let's do this holiday pack with our color as well. That is going to end up being a very dark red. We'll probably put some transparent black on top of it. See if I can get in here without hitting her arm or her leg too much. There we go. Yes, I did it. Oh, I did not do it. Hold on. Fix that. My tactic for fixing blobs of paint is to deluge it with water and see if I can mop it back up. It usually works. There, see? All right, let's check chat. You would have fun doing your own modeling supports and slicing. Oh, Lamunis, if he doesn't have a license, don't share those kinds of things, okay? Because I don't want to support that kind of thing. or you can share it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry, lady. Poor Lady B. Hopefully that guy has a license. So, all right, next color is this pure red. It's just my preference, Luminous. I just don't. Oh no. All right. Here we go. Now we're going to highlight so I mixed a little bit of my Pure Red. If you don't want to mix and you just want something out of the bottle, you can use the burnt red. But I think I'll just go with the Pure here. Yeah, that looks good. We'll mix that though to make my own burnt red. There we go. Coughing, thank you so much for the follow. Your wife got you the second pack of Pro Krill. Yay! Now you're excited to put it on something good. Has KDM stopped doing starter boxes? I'm not sure. What are the starter boxes? Help remind me. So that's looking good already. I really like this. So, and then I'm going to mix more Pure Red over here and start glazing up this pack, which stays pretty dark. I like how this kind of looks like a face a little bit. See, it kind of has eyes over here. Let me look at the art card. Does the art card have a face? No, it doesn't. Well, that's just my imagination then. There we go. Okay. Now, one thing that this does have is little pom-poms around the baggie here. I'm going to finish the reds though, because I want to get these going. And then I need my Pure Red for the red that's closest to the lantern, right? See how that, not putting that dark red on top of that made a big difference? Let's go back with that bright red here. Oh, I need to get back into the darker red for the bottom half of that. It takes a lot of brush control to paint that quickly and smoothly. Whoa. Isn't that pretty? That bright red. We'll leave this nice and dark. Maybe just have a little bit of red on some spots. We got a new follower. I don't know how to say the name. Kikianis? How do I say your name? If you want to pronounce it for me in the chat, that would be great. Echoes are hard plastic, yeah. Ah, thank you, Original Sin. It is a nice model. There we go. When the closer the lantern is to the red is brighter and more vivid. So again, the more bright red is going to be up close to the flame, just like that. All of this on the back. A lot of this back here is going to be more the darker red. Oh, I have a story to tell you guys. So, you guys know I have a bird feeder. I've told you guys about it, right? So the other day, was it yesterday? The other day was really, really cold. So there were a lot of birds at the bird feeder, lots and lots, like more than I've seen in pretty much most of the winter. Okay. And there was one of my crow friends was also hanging out at the bird feeder. And then out of nowhere, everybody just scatters. And one of the sparrows flies directly into the window of our patio door, which that hasn't happened before, and I got really worried because I don't want birds to be hitting themselves on the patio. Okay. I went to go check on the sparrow that had hit the patio door, and out of nowhere, there's a hawk, like a Cooper's hawk, that flies right up to the patio window, kind of sees me and is like, oops, and then takes off. And then I went back down to check on the sparrow and open my patio door, and he flew off. So I've pretty much saved the sparrow's life. And then I kind of felt a little guilty for having so many birds at my bird feeder that it attracted the hawk. But you know, hawk's gonna eat too, I guess. And sparrows are invasive. They're invasive to the United States. They're actually from, I think, Europe or UK, I'm not sure. But they actually kill bluebirds. And so if a hawk eats a sparrow or a starling once in a while, I guess I can live with that. All right, there we go. That is looking really, really nice. There's a lot of stuff to cover here, though. Anyway, does anybody else have any cool wildlife stories like that? You should order EOD3, but you figure it's sold out yet? What is EOD? EOD 1 and 2? What? I don't know what EOD is. Now I want to know. Half price. Oh, Echoes of Death. Yes. I went. It's funny because I got EOD 3. It came really late. EOD 2, in my opinion, is the best of the 3. Absolutely, hands down. EOD 1, it's okay. For the models, anyway. Echoes of Death. Echoes of Death 2 is really, really good. And Echoes of Death 3 is pretty good. I think that I would have liked to see some more of the generic figures, but they went with like the bosses of the expansions. So I think you guys want to see. Hold on one second. Let me run upstairs. Let's take a little ad break, and I'll run upstairs and go get my Echoes of Death 3, and we can look at it. KDM built instructions that are shamefully inadequate, missing. That's the biggest gripe. The price point. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Should have had an instruction manual. Completely agree. Let me run upstairs and go get my Echoes of Death 3, and I think I also got I got the Lucy model that's really cute with a little karate Lucy. I'll be right back. I'm going to do a little quick ad break for you guys. Feel free to get up and stretch. I'll just do a 120 second. All right, I'll be back. And when I'm back, we're going to look at the Echoes of Death. I'll be right back. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have a little treat for you guys because we're going to look at, I found all my Echoes of Death. So you can look at them all together, and then you can decide on the quality of the models. Okay. I'm excited. Creature Caster's gotten better about build guides. Yeah, they have. They've gotten a lot better. Benjamin, thank you for subscribing. Oh, you're so awesome. Patreon, here I come. Yeah. When you're leaving, Uncle. Ah. While he did that, we saw a hawk and a squirrel, and we were all like, what the heck just happened? That is so funny, Belle. I like that. All right, let's look at these Echoes of Death models. These are Kingdom Death. I'm going to show you Echoes of Death 1. Uh-oh, one of them's broken. I got to fix that. This is the... Ah, crap. All right, so this is the... This is the Necromancer. I believe this is the Necromancer, right? Hi, Shadow Colors. How are you? And this is the, I guess the Warrior, right? Do you guys remember me painting these? I think I painted these on stream. So these are the Echoes of Death of 1. And then there is the Mage, right? I think so. And there was one more. This is the Thief. The Thief was my favorite. She's the cutest of Echoes of Death 1. That one came out really good. I did non-metallic metal with all these. I need to fix her. I am. Well, I'm Jewish, Shadows of Color, so it's just Friday for me. But I'm really glad that you guys are able to be home and be able to enjoy the stream while I'm here. And I hope that I make your Christmas better. All right, here is Echoes of Death 2. This is, what one was this? This is the Bard. That's the Bard. I really think I painted these better. Echoes of Death 2 is better. This is the Cleric. This is the Cleric. Isn't she cute? And then I have the oh my gosh, somebody remind me, the Gladiator. Is that what she is? The Gladiator. This one was my favorite of this set. No, I take it back. This is my second favorite of the set. And this is my favorite of the set. This is the Ranger. I just love her. She's so cute. So yeah, with these three, I did a different, this is so more like my redhead with my freckles and stuff. We're in the pink, more of a pink skin tone. This is my dark skin tone girl. This one's more of an olive. She's almost like more kind of Hispanic. Olive brown. And then my Caucasian. So these two are both Caucasian, but this one is more pink and more red. You like I like the Gladiator too. The Gladiator, these are probably my favorite that I painted, and you can kind of tell they're all a little bit better. Those are my favorites of those that I painted. All right, let's look at Echoes of Death 3, because I haven't gotten these. We'll paint these on stream, by the way, probably. We've got about another month of stream. You love those? Thank you, Lady B. So I'm just going to show you the art cards, because obviously none of them are put together. And it comes with this interesting separator. There we go. Okay, so let's figure out which expansions. You're a better painter than I thought. This is the Frog Dog, right? No, or is it the Gorm? I can't tell. Is it the Gorm or the Frog Dog? I think it's the Gorm. I think this is the Gorm. Hey, Hootie Hoot, how are you? It's been a little bit. Let me check. I'm going to check the cards. It'll maybe tell me. Fiddler, Crab, Spider. Consume. Oh, you can consume this spider. Gross. Sorry about that, Sneaky. I know you don't like them. Stockist. Oh, okay. So this is the Stockist. Interesting. You can stock shot, activate a bow on your gear grid and attack the monster. For this attack, your bow's range and strength are equal to the number of resources in the settlement storage. Oh, because you saved up stuff, so that makes you stronger and better with a bow. You may concentrate, and if you do, you perform stock shot. Interesting. That's an interesting power. Sunstalker, thank you. That's right. Rumble got it. Sunstalker armor. The sniper. Oh, yes, you're right. Oh my god, I love it. I actually like that armor better than the regular sniper. Okay, so this one is Armored Fist, and this one goes with, this one is, I believe this one is Gold Smoke Knight, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, Rumble. Tired spending on the day on Twitch. Oh, nice. Wish I could find Chinese food. Ah, we already ordered our Chinese food. Anyway, this is, do you know what figure this is? This is the mage, isn't it? This is the mage. That sounds right. Mage with the gold smoke armor, and it's called Armored Fist. Monk? No, you're right. Lamunis is right. It's the monk. I got that wrong. Yep. You guys are way better at this than me. Okay. Tell me what this one is. So we got the monk and the sniper and... Oh, I know which one this one is, but I don't remember what it's called. You guys remember that one? She's got the Kingsman outfit, though. Knight. You're right. That's the knight. Yeah, she is a badass. I love her. And then we have, this is... Does anybody remember that one as well? Oh, this is the Dark Paladin in the Dark Paladin and the Dragon King outfit, I'm guessing. She's got a little bit of a weird camel toe thing going on. Oh my gosh. Once per round at the start of your act. Yep, Dark Paladin, exactly. I got one right. And then there's some different milestone achievements that go with that. So I'm looking forward to painting those. Those look like a lot of fun. I think we'll have to pick one of these to be non-Caucasian. Of the four of these, which one do you guys like the best? They're all really pretty. Lady B says I was on the website. Hey Mocha. What? Okay. I thought so. That's what it looked like. It was cut and pasted, and I was like so confused. I was like, this is not to me. You like the sniper? Yeah, don't worry. Disregard. I like the sniper as well, and I also like, I think I like the monk. I like the monk a lot. Oh, that's so, that's so great. Mocha's awesome. All right, hold on a second. You know what I want to show you guys? Notice that the bases changed a lot. This is the second set, right? And the bases are all fancy. The first set, there were no fancy bases at all. And the second one. And the third one, I think we get fancy bases again. I didn't look. Let me see. Oh yeah, we definitely get fancy bases because they're on the sprue and everything. That's awesome. Okay, good. Let's go back to painting. Yes, Mocha's she's a great person. All right, I'm gonna put these away. I don't want any paint to get on them. I had to get Echoes of Death 3 because I'm collecting them, and I don't have that many that I collect. But I like the Echoes of Death a lot. They're kind of a twist on the generic figures, right? And it's a way to get the generic figures without buying the generic figures. All right, what do we have left? We've got some candles. There we go. painting the top half of the candle because I want that lower part to be kind of dark. There's some light here, so we're going to use this bright red because that lantern is right next to that. Nope, that got watery. The problem with the wet palette and these paints is they're already pretty thin paints, and eventually they start sucking the water from the palette, which is what it does, but then it will start getting a little too liquidy. My airbrush is still on a little bit. Okay. Gradually getting everything looking good. There we go. Okay, so let's look at the art card again. I love having the art cards as references. So these are sticks and they're mostly dark gray. So we're going to go ahead and get a bigger brush, slightly bigger brush. These are the Pro Acryl paints. Yes, exactly. I love them. I love the Pro Acryls. All right, what was I going to do? Gray. We've already got gray here. I think I'm going to use some of this bright neutral gray in some spots because I don't want, oh yeah, that's a really light gray. Question, are you using parchment paper for your welt palette? No, actually. Morgan the Hated, we have Everlasting Wet Palette Paper Hydration Sheets. These are different than any other kind of wet palette sheets that I've ever used, and I really love how they work. They go with the Redgrass palette. If you're ever interested in trying them out and you live in the United States, I sell them. If you don't live in the United States, you can order them from my affiliate link in my profile because I am affiliated by Redgrass Games. Okay, so I'm going to use this dark gray. I'm going to paint the top of that lantern. This is really tricky. See, paint the little bars on the lantern as well. Gotta do both sides. Uh-oh. See that? I see that on her leg. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay. Oh, that's looking cute. Let's see. Let's use a little of this lighter gray for this blade here. And anywhere that light was touching. There we go. Awesome, you have a Masterson's wet palette and the paper doesn't allow enough moisture, so you switch. Yeah, so the Masterson palette paper is designed for artist acrylics. So this is actually designed for, yeah, you should try it. If you, like I said, if you live in the US, message me and I can sell you some. And if you don't live in the US, you can go through my affiliate link and order it directly from the company. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna mix some yellow. Ah, it's already dried on my palette a little bit. No, it hasn't. There we go. All right, now we can try to blend that a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's very pretty. Okay, more gray. Everywhere. If I need to highlight this later, I will, but I'm just going to see what it looks like if I paint it solid gray first. There, okay. So this part, I'm going to mix this gray and this yellow together. So, yeah, that works really well, actually. Yep. The gray yellow makes it feel like it's being lit. But still gray. And I'm going to paint this interesting skull. Go ahead and paint it all gray, and then we can maybe layer it up in a little bit. Paint it from light to dark. There we go. Their horns, I'm going to use that yellow gray again. That works. I need to go back to my gray on the back. Well, you know what? I lied. I don't want to go back on. I want to go back to my yellow gray. Because there is a lantern right there. Lighting things up. That works good enough. And now we can paint the actual lantern gray. Belos, hello! How are you? If only someone sold baking parchment cut to fit that palette. This stuff is really, it's like $11 for a pack of 50. So, give or take. It depends on, yeah, you should try it. Belos, how are you? Are you having a good holiday? Did Alex get any treats? Is Alex being a bludger today? Or every day? They last forever. Yeah, they do. They do. The worst part of parchment isn't cutting it. It's getting to lay flat. There's a trick to it, Songwin. There's a trick to getting it to lay flat. So what I do is I fill up the sponge with the water, and then I put down my palette paper and I try to make sure that all the bubbles are out, but I will get water on the edges. Don't put any water on the inside, just on the edges. Mike has some ice cream, and I can hear him eating pie and ice cream. See how it does that when it's covering everything, and then make sure you dump out the excess water. See how there's no excess water? Oop, my paint is dripping. You should have bought more sponges. You have a 200 sheets of paper, but only one more sponge. Yeah, sponges, I think I have sponges as well, so I have the whole kit if you want to try out the whole kit, Morgan. Can you wash them? I wouldn't say no. I'd say you shouldn't wash the paper. You don't even need to prep these. You have sponge tips. Oh, you have sponge tips? Tell us. Tell us, tell us. One of the things I'd like some tips on is the keeping them fresh, because they get kind of stanky if I leave them with water. And I've heard, you know, you can put a penny. That is one trick I have heard. Mike, can you do that really quickly and finish?
One bite left.
Okay. He's a little bit of a plate scraper, and so he's sitting there scraping his bowl to get all the ice cream out, and it's like, I can hear it.
Pecan pie and ice cream.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie. There's too much pepper. Do you still have one here, Miss Sally? Do we get rid of it?
Yeah, we have it.
I think we should watch that.
Okay. Sorry, I just noticed that this part of the model is a little bit, I don't know. I need to get that yellow in there a little bit more. Let's wet blend it. That's better. Maybe a little bit of Okay, I'm gonna use this yellow, which is all mostly gone on my palette. Hold on. I'm going to put yellow here. There we go. We're going to mix some with my gray to make a yellow-gray color. Ooh, it turned a green. That's not what I want, is it? So we'll add a little bit of this gray to... Ooh, that doesn't work at all. Let's do this. Let's add a little bit of yellow. Oh, you know what? We need to desaturate the yellow to make this work. We're going to add a little bit of white to my yellow. When you desaturate a color, it takes some of the pigment out and it's less strong, so that way when we go to mix it with the gray is dominant, not the yellow. And that actually works a lot better. So see, that made a big difference. Notice as I'm painting this on, I'm just hitting the highlights of it. I'm giving it a little bit of a layer. Need to go on these. The teeth are nice and white, so I'm just going to use this straight gray here. We don't want to actually use white much at all, because we don't want to pull your eye clear over here. See, now this layer is going to be even smaller. Put that gray on those horns. All right, let me look at chat in a second here. Grabbing some white and gonna mix it with my gray. Actually, I'm gonna mix a little bit of my yellow in there too, just so I can feel like I have a little bit of a glow from the candle above. See? And take a little bit more white now and those teeth. Just a little bit. Wow. There, that looks good. Let's go in with my yellow from my little candle flame. That can be nice and bright yellow. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of this yellow with my red and highlight a tiny bit of that where the light is hitting the top of that candle. See? Same thing. See? Wherever there's a little lantern, some of that gets some light. Okay, checking chat. I see lots of chatting. Okay, Lady B, I hope you feel better. Yes, there are spores in the water. Don't assume. Yeah, you're right, Morgan. Should I use distilled water? That's the algae eating the sponge. Gross. Oh, okay, hold on. I need to go back. Mold stat. Oh. Wash them in mold stat. Okay, wash this. These are the sponge tips that Morgan's given us. These are great. You add a tiny drop of mold stat to every sponge. Yeah, it keeps mold in, or algae. Every now and then some Chimera paints gets into them and they get dyed wonderful colors. Yes, same thing for me. You could put pre-made parchment. They're like $8 for 100 in the 6-inch size. Oh wow. Yellow and black making green is one of the more amazing things I've learned in painting class. Yep, that's just based on, this is gray, but it still has enough black in it that it still turned it green. A really poopy green too. Spores from air exposure. You're right. That's so true. And I have a gecko tank down here as well. And so who knows what kind of spores are in there, because there are all kinds of little microfauna in there that eat the algae and the mold. If your sponge is pure yellow, you aren't painting enough. Oh no, oh no. It's not yellow, but it is a color. It's more like a peach color. I should probably get a new. I know. Bye, Belle. Oh, bye, Lady B. Sorry, I thought Belle was leaving because she said bye. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Do I want to use this green color? I don't know. I'm looking at the art card. I'm seeing things look pretty good. Let's use a little bit of yellow over here so we can use it on top. There we go. That looks good. That looks like OSL. Now we need to do this back here. Let's use this lighter gray. Yeah, I like that. It's a little colder, but it works. I feel like we can get this model done in this whole time period. Do you guys, we're going to do Whip Trip Gallery too later on. Don't forget that. See, now I got my dark in here. There's no light down here, so this gets to be nice and dark. Okay, so now there is light over here, so now I'm going to go with my gray, my lighter gray. Can wet blend a little bit. I like this. This is perfect. So I'm just going to come in here with my dark gray. And see if I can. There. Trying to get into the zone a tiny bit. Sorry if I'm not looking at chat. Give me a second here. All right, back to our dark gray for this lantern. It actually needs to be black, but I'm going to go over it with this dark gray first. We can do like a non-oil wash over it probably later. And sorry, I'm going to get in here. There we go. This, oh, you know what? I think I messed up. I think this lantern, yeah, I did mess up. That's okay. I'll do it the same on this side so it'll look like I did it. When you make a mistake, this is what I do. I try to make it look like I did it on purpose. So we'll just do that on purpose. Yeah. So the sides here. Paint that. There, and that, yeah, that actually looks nice. I like that. Oops. Okay, and I'm gonna look at chat. I'm so sorry, guys. Morgan says, my mortal words of the late Bob Ross. Wait, it's always on purpose. Yeah, it does take forever. Only happy accidents, exactly. I had an art teacher that would tell us, you know, if you make a mistake, just make it look like you did it on purpose, and nobody really will probably know, right? Okay, so that means I need to paint this side. Okay, that works. Little top of the lantern here. Oh, I have another thing to tell you guys. Mike and I got the game Wingspan. Have you guys played Wingspan? If you like birds, or if you like games, if you like board games. What? Why are you laughing at me, Mike?
Games.
You like
Painting channel.
Right. It is a gaming. Yeah. So if you like board games, not everybody likes board games, but Mike and I like board games. Mostly board games where both of us have an even chance of winning, because that's rare. Because Mike's really good at games. So that means that a lot of times he will beat me over and over and over again. So we got Wingspan, and it's a lot of fun. It's a game that involves birds, but it's like an engine building game. Does that make sense to anybody? There we go. That's pretty. So add a little gray to that. That looks good now. Lots of OSL on this. Okay. I'm going to go back over that with the gray because I don't like what I just did on that. Fix it. Okay, let's do all the lanterns. Rumble, have you played Wingspan yet? I think that Double Fruity would really enjoy it. Rumble says Wingspan is great. You play on the tabletop server with Ash Cadellan. Oh, we should all play sometime. Is it through Steam? Do you have the Steam version? That's what we need to do. You like co-op games and games that are quick and lighthearted, like Arkham Horror Co-op or Flux. Flux is fun, yes. I liked Flux a lot as well. I like Arkham Horror as well. We have a version. Don't we have a version, Mike, that's like Star Wars, but is it the Arkham Horror version? You're not listening to me, Mike.
What?
Do we have the Arkham Horror version, the Star Wars version of Arkham Horror?
No.
No. What do we have?
We have Betrayal on the House on the Hill.
Oh. Sorry, we have... I was completely wrong. We have Betrayal of House on the Hill, the Baldur's Gate version. Which we haven't played that in a while either. Isn't that cute, that little lantern? Okay. Let's paint the details. So hard to paint these on stream. Whee! Oh. Let's get this one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the tabletop simulator of Wingspan. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay. Need more yellow. Yay, we got another follower. Aggravated 81. Hello. Yep, I'm up for that. We played the same. Oh, from Steam. Okay, cool. Good. Well, I will have to get in on that. That sounds like a blast. Anyway, I was telling everybody because I highly recommend it. I'm still, learning the strategy. Okay, we're going to hit these candle flames. Also, wait, I just realized something. The top part of this should be bright, not the bottom. See if I can try to fix that. Add a little white to my yellow. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, good. I'm going to go back and fix all of that. Boom. Not bad. Oh, this is the hardest part. So we got wingspan and we got pandemic. I thought it would be a little bit ironic to get pandemic during a pandemic. And I've heard it's really good, and I've heard it's cooperative as well. Is it? I think it's cooperative. I could be wrong. These little spots. All right, that's good. That's good enough. Forgot the yellow up here. That's very good. Okay. Okay. Little by little, we're getting there. Now, this is where we're going to paint the gray of her loincloth and other outfit, other pieces of outfit. Start out with this gray-white color. See? Uh-oh, I got some on the bag. Let's see if I can't fix that a little bit. Okay. Hi, Diomedes. Hanukkah was last week. But I hope you have a Merry Christmas. We ordered Kickstarter the Divinity board game. Oh. How is that? That looks... Oh, it's got tons of minis. Did my cat enjoy The Empire Strikes Back earlier? Yes. He's talking... I have to show you guys. He's talking about... Where's my phone? Here it is. I'm going to show you this. It's a hard game. We played Pandemic Cthulhu about 10 times before we barely beat it. Oh, really? Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys this. So my cat was being really funny today. Where's my video? Here it is.
Outside the cave. Listen! Are you crazy? I just got this much back together. I'm not gonna let something tear it apart.
We were watching Empire Strikes Back, and the cat was being so funny. It's a masochistic game. Can you say how many entries there are for the giveaway? I can't, Benjamin's Prime, because I don't know. I'd have to. It's a lot because everybody gets multiple entries, so I don't know. It's a lot, but there's lots of prizes. So yeah, that's all I can tell you. Sorry. By the way, I'm going to take a little bit of this white now, and I'm going to highlight this part and a little bit of gray mixed in. See, we can gradually get this lighter and lighter. Oops, a little bit more white. Yeah, that looks good. See how it actually reads as more white? Let's do her top. Which we have that pink underneath, which is actually kind of perfect because it is slightly see-through this top. I'm painting that dark so then I can go back later and make it light. You'll see. Okay, let that all dry though. We can't mess with it until it's dry. Now, let me see if I can touch this with my white. Just little bits, glazing it in. Yep, that's working. Now I need it to be more white. There we go. I'm using the side of my brush to hit those little triangles and those. There we go. Yes. Now, let me look at her art card again because she's got lots of gold. Oh my gosh, so much gold. Which I'm debating on putting non-metallic. Should I do non-metallic metal or should I do metallic metal? Let's do demi-metal. Let's do a little bit of both. Let's see what happens. What scale? This scale, I think it's 28 or 30 millimeter. I think. Let me get out my colors for my gold. There's a dark golden brown color that'll make a good base. Yep, that's a great base. Let's paint everything that is gold with this. Now, I'm paying attention to where... Oh man, look at that. I'm going to have to fix all that. Well, luckily some of it won't have to fix. I won't have to fix this bit. Everywhere where that light is hitting from that lantern, I need to remember that because I need to go lighter. With my highlight color. There we go. I managed to get gray all over her leg. I'm going to have to fix. I'm not too worried about it at the moment though. That is already pretty. Let's get this gray. Sorry, this gold. I'm saving her skin for last. Normally I paint skin first. But the way this model is designed, I feel like I need to add the skin last. I love this song so much on this playlist. It's so chill. It feels very like Baja summer. Okay, a lot of little wristbands here. Whew, so tiny detailed. These models are tricky. All right, I'm looking at chat. I see lots of chatting. Is Christmas steak a thing? I feel like it should be. We do Chinese food, Morgan. Jewish people like to do Chinese food on Christmas. You've adopted the whatever you want approach. I love that song, Wind. Making it a thing. Hi, Batalur. How are you? Lasagna. That's a great idea. You made it a huge Indian feast. That sounds really good as well. There's never a wrong time to have steaks. I agree. First thing we are trying. So Songwind, I'm not sure where you are. If MN is Minnesota, but if you should try a British Christmas dinner sometime with like Christmas pudding and Yorkshire pudding. I know I've got a lot of British people watching that will probably agree with me. All right, where is the rest of the gold? I think her, oh, well, she's got some horns, but they're not gold, but they are brown. So we'll go ahead and add that in there. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to that color. Okay. I have to check my music because I think we just finished. Hold on, I need more yellow. That's pretty. Okay. Now, when you're painting gold, it looks like he's got, let's do this. We got to do an ivory to start. This is ivory. I'm going to mix ivory and this yellow together. And actually, I want to use a more, let's just try this. See? It needs to be a more golden. I need a more golden yellow. So I'm going to add a skosh, a little bit of this transparent orange to my yellow. Yeah, that might work. Make it more golden. There we go. We're just going to hit the highlights of this, all of the gold. It's already working. Paying attention to where that lantern is. See? And now we're going to add some yellow, more yellow, and a little bit of ivory. See, it's getting brighter. And what I'll do, okay, that's actually looking really good. Let me see if there's any, there's not a lot of white, but there is a very, very faint pastel yellow. A little bit of white in it. See, this is the part that makes it look like it's blinging. We need the darkness. I almost... I'm going to try a little bit of this dark red in here on the bottom of this to try to... Oh yeah, that's what it needed. Just a little bit of this dark brown to increase that contrast. So we're going to go back in here, wherever I need it. I like that. That looks good. So, take my golden mix that with my brown here. See, I don't know if I'm getting it right or not, but we'll just keep working on it. Let's try a little transparent orange right there, maybe. And then we're going to go back over it with that yellow. Okay, that's better. I think it actually needs to be my my brown. Hold on, let me get transparent brown. Where is it? Here's it. Here's it. The color palette of this model is pretty blah. Yeah, that works. This is the transparent brown. It's kind of doing similar things to what that burgundy was doing to it. Hi, Katie Lynch. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. How are you? Snork, snork. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. You aim for the clash. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do as well. Let's aim for the clash. You're inventorying your collection. Woo! Collection of KDM, or what all do you have, Katie Lynch, that you are talking about? All right, let's go in here with the yellow. And then my transparent brown. It's not working. Oh, now it is. Okay, sorry, I lied. That looks better now. I'm using the transparent brown to give myself that clash. All minis, including board games, you get. I did get through KDM, which was a full publicly released collection minus. Oh wow, I think I saw that minus the first 40 from the. Woo! Oh my gosh, Katie. You sold half your collection 70 300 is half. I know, right, Belle? You know, larger people with larger collections. I don't know how big my Kingdom Death collection is, but it's nothing compared to a lot of people's. And I'm okay with that. I try to keep it a little bit minimal. I just found a little thing. Here. Little piece of dried paint. Alright, I'm going back with my white now that this is dry. See? Cute, cute. Katie Lynch, did you hear that I'm going to be releasing my own models soon? Ish. We're going to be starting a Patreon on the 30th, right about the same time that we do our big giveaway that I'm running. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We did not hit that. What type of minis? Well, the first 6 are going to be sexy male demi-humans, Morgan. So a demi-human is something that is like a human but not a human. Like a centaur and a minotaur, you know, but those aren't what I'm going to do. So that's why I'm saying those, but those aren't. I'm thinking about an orc. Maybe, you know, you have to get in on the Patreon to find out all the details. Or just wait till they come out. Okay, I'm just gonna go in here with this ivory. But yeah, it's gonna be pre-order because I don't want to have to carry inventory, and it's less risk on my part that way as well. That way we're not doing a big order, small batch. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting in the zone with these because they're so small. Some of these little highlights are really tiny. There we go. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're getting her gold all painted up. Guys like that? Does she have gold on her? She does have gold on her necklace here. It's like a little brooch for these little raven heads. It's hard to see. You know, a pretty good painter to do the box art. I think she goes by Shoshie. That's true. Although, I think it would be really cool to hire some amazing women to do some of these. Since, you know, women are pretty much going to be the main primary demographic for the first run. You know, later on we're going to evolve into other kinds. We want something for everybody. But the first, I think 6 to 12 minis are going to be male figures. But yeah, I'm very excited. Let's see. Let's add a little bit of this gold up here on the top of that antler. That works. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we've got green hair. We've got to do her face first. Let's do her face. We're going to start out with this dark peach. And maybe actually, I'm going to go ahead and mix some dark peach with this burgundy so we can get enough contrast. I'm going to let that dry. So the rest of her body is pretty good, but her face needed help. And then we also have some little bit mistakes over here we got to work on. I'm going to smooth. See, that will fix a lot. Let's go back to, oh, you know what? My music died. Are there any women mini painters? I know, are there? There's so many. I've been collecting, if you want to go on my, I have a, did I save it? I think I saved it. I have a list of 50 female painters on my Instagram. I think it's in my highlights that you can follow that are pretty epic. A lot of them actually follow me here on Twitch, so that's a good way to meet some of them. And I guess not in that way. I don't know how that came off bad. Sorry. I'm not trying to hook you guys up with people. I'm just trying to let you meet good painters. Shoshie the Yenta. Okay, we're getting there. Now go. I just heard a follower. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check who that was. Aw, Morgan the Hated. Thank you for following. You saw my IG stories tagging them. It was a great idea. Sometimes Twitch unfollows people, so maybe you did, but Twitch undid it. It's possible. Real quick, I'm gonna grab, I have a pastel yellow. Here it is. Yeah, I noticed that this tag your, oh, that's bright ivory. That's not yellow. Let's do, this one is pale yellow. That's better. And is it gonna come out? Yes, there. I noticed that a lot of people were tagging the same, no offense, but the same dudes over and over and over again. And so I was like, you know, I'm gonna tag some ladies. I'm gonna put some ivory at the bottom of some of these lanterns. So it looks like it's kind of, that's where the heat is. Does that make sense? At the bottom. And then at the top of the, which would, no, maybe it'd be at the bottom of a candle too, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Just like that. She's looking really good. I'm excited. Ah, this brush is too small. Let me switch. I get in trouble trying to paint with this too small brush. See, this horn's got all chalky on me. Go back over it with my little brown. That's better. Okay, this is that pale yellow. Let's see what happens. And to paint the edges. Edges are always bright on metal. See if I can, oh, this is so hard. Because I need a little bit of, not thinner, but drying retarder. This has got my drying retarder in there. I'm just going to put some on my palette because the yellow is drying like literally on my brush. There we go. There we go. Much better. Much, much better. Crazy. Okay. Yeah. So this has 50-50 water and drying retarder. It's just a little brush I keep around. There we go. Putting some of this yellow highlight on her body as well. A little bit more of that drying retarder. She's looking good. I'm excited. You have to make sure the drying retarder makes a big difference in keeping things smooth. There we go. Lovely. Lovely. Let's get working on her face. I'm going to add a little bit of this orange to this, and then a little bit of that yellow again to make my own bright. This is so tricky. Okay, I'm gonna be in the zone for a minute. Bear with me. Let's do the top of her nose first. If you want to see a really great white speaker Nico, go look at Elizabeth Beckley Bradford's work. She's the studio painter for Kingdom Death. And her version of this model is fan-freaking-tastic. I'm going to use a little bit more of this light yellow now. So you're just building up these volumes. Okay, now I'm going to take a thin glaze of this peach. That was the original base color. Oops, not even thin enough. And just glaze that into I'm still not happy with it. Especially this side. All right, when I'm not happy with something, I will just let it dry. Let's do her hair. The hair is a really unique color. It's like a interesting color. We're gonna use some of this turquoise and then use some, maybe some transparent green over the top. Then I'm gonna look at chat. Thinner will dissolve the glue in the ferrule. I did not know that. Also use cold water. Hot water can also melt the glue and cause the brushes to fray. Aw. Farina's fan freaking tastic. Thank you. It's hard to paint a really, I mean, this face is so small. It's hard to paint it on stream. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to add just a little bit of that glaze to bring back some of that because it's so yellow right now. There, that's better. Okay. What am I doing? Just because I want to make her look a little bit more alive, I'm adding a little bit of this burnt red, and I'm going to just take it on her. I'm going to glaze it on her knee right there, and this knee a little bit. Take a little bit more of that burnt red into the shadow here. It's not working. I'm going to use the burgundy. I don't hate that. I'm going to take a little bit of that gray. Better. It's better. Yeah, I think that's better. Doing the dark lining on a little bitty model can be really tricky. Let's go ahead and with the white and clean up some of the spots I messed up on. Okay. I gotta do her hair. Okay. We got a new follower. Thank you so much, Revolt Radio. Benjamin says, it's the Tester's enamel thinner and brush cleaner I'm referring to. So the thinner, I'm not using thinner. This is drying retarder. But thinner, yeah, definitely will. Looks like ice with white crystal trees in it. Oh, that's cool. Use room temperature RO water. Personally, water here is silly hard. And not just hot water. Just not hot water. No additives needed. You can use a brush soap. Oh, rinse cup. Good, good. All right, I'm painting with this blue to start. I want to do a test. I'm going to paint my finger with this blue. We'll see what happens when I put the transparent green over the top, because this is what I want to get, and I have a feeling I'm not going to get what I want. Let's see. We got transparent green. We might get what we want. We need to add a little burgundy to it, to be honest. Yes, a little burgundy. Boom, boom. That's it. All right, now I have to figure this out. All right, so we're going to paint the hole here with this turquoise first. Going around her teeny tiny ear. Eventually. But you know what? That wasn't burgundy. That was transparent brown. No wonder it worked so well. Okay. But that was the right color anyway. It wasn't burgundy. Scratch that. Hope I didn't mess anybody up if they were trying to follow along. Okay. Do I have it all? All right, there's her head. Let's put the green on first. This is the transparent green. I like that. That's very pretty. Okay. Almost got it all. All right, now I'm going to do the transparent brown in the shadows. Oops, I got some on her cloak. Ooh, that's too much. This is going to be hard. I like that color green though, man. Should have let that dry a little bit. See, it just desaturated the green just a tiny bit, and then I can come back in when it's dry and fix it. All right, I see lots of boo-boos I made. All over her little, we're going to use the gray to cover those. Because they shouldn't be white anyway. Use a little bit of darker gray back here. Wet blend that. Now my gray, my lighter gray. and I am in the zone, so I'm sorry, but it will take me a second to get back on chat. It's one of those things, if I don't, it will not come out right. Okay, there we go. Let's fix her chin a little bit over here. Oh, I see cat hair. No. It's right across her face, too. Got it. All right. I know I need more contrast. Enamel paints, airbrushes. What am I missing? Bad Blood, how are you? You really like this theme? Katie Lynn's painted as you thought I was going to get blue paint on the art card. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I don't have any paint. It's all good. I'm gonna mix some of this oh, there we go. I'll mix some of the transparent green with the blue. And now we're gonna come back in and do a little bits of highlights. It works cute. Yeah, I like that. Just hit the tops of the folds of the hair, however that works. There we go. All right, starting to come together a little bit better. I'm going to use a little bit of ivory. Smoothing out some of the skin tone that I kind of sketched on. Go a little bit more in the yellows for this right here. I like that. That looks good. A little bit on the ends here too. I'm like WW Elizabeth. What would Elizabeth do? WWED. She's one of my, I have a lot of favorite KDM painters, and she is one of them. And I think about, like, what would she do to make her model look awesome? So now we're at a place where I want to paint the base, because I don't know if you know, but in the art card, the base of this model is a lot of red. Let's get a little bit of that transparent brown. And it's going to make things pop a little bit. Can I get it in there? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna look at chat. I swear I'm gonna be interactive. Good call. You wasted money on the hobby kit. You only pushed acrylics through your airbrush though, so that might be the difference. Strongest thing you've needed is simple green. Oh, that's nice. I have such bad luck, Katie Lynch, with airbrush thinner. Or sorry, airbrush cleaner. I think I just am hard on airbrushes. I'm just impatient. So I need to use a little simple green. I think that would probably be a good idea. I've heard though I've heard that simple green can wear out the O-rings or something. I don't know if that's true. All right, let's get in here. Like that. All right, we're almost done with the base here. Oop, I just hit her toe. It's okay. All right, now the red. The Purell red. And then we're going to do the base black because I want to hide. Let's see, where's my black? We haven't really used any black on this model at all. Yet. Nope, we haven't got a gecko out yet, Kingfisher. Which one would you like me to get out? Ginger biscuit or peppercorn? I'll let you choose. Has not been used. No such thing, you'll need it later. You can use it to do oil washes. Wait a minute, what am I missing? Pepper biscuit, ginger corn. All right, well, we can get both of them out. Give me a let me finish this part of the model. This is really going to make it feel like more finished. And it'll be a good time to, oh yeah, look at that. Look what that did. Okay. So pretty. We gotta fix her face, but let me go ahead and get out a gecko. Ginger. Okay, ginger biscuit. Did we get out? I think we got ginger biscuit out last time, but she's the most easy to get out, so it's okay. Either way. Who is available? Little cuties. Oh, you're smushing her. I think that Peppercorn looks like she's gonna get ready to shed, so we'll leave poor Peppercorn alone. She looks a little ghosty, which means shed time. There's Biscuit. She's like squinty, squinty. Oh, you want a Yiddish word of the day as well? There's Biscuit. Oh, squint. Let me see if I can turn this light off and see. There we go. That's a little bit better. She's not as squinty. Poor baby. She looks tired. It's probably time to wake up because she's not tired. She just doesn't like the light. She's verklempt. You want verklempt? I'll definitely tell you what that means. Here she goes. Here she is. See, she's pretty wide awake. She just squints when she doesn't like the light because she. Look at her. See, she's hiding her head. She's like, I don't like the light. There we go. Let me keep her. She's hiding her face. She's so cute. Oh, yes, black and white gecko. I love it. She's a cute baby. She's a good baby. Artemage, thank you for the raid. We just got out our gecko ginger biscuit. She's actually wanting to go back in because, oh, you needed gecko love. Well, there's some sweet gecko right there. You got a leopard gecko, Artemage? This one is an African fat tail. She's related. Got a squish, squish, squish tail. The tail feels a little dry. Yep. They're really sweet. Oh, if you want to send a link, send it to, who is on Rumble? Send it to Rumble, and if it's a picture of a gecko, we'll show it. We're about ready to do, there she is, look at her. You guys want to see Peppercorn real quick? Peppercorn might not be interested in coming out. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't think she wants to be touched. She feels so skinny too. Yeah, she's gonna get ready to shed. Yeah, she's not interested. The last time I got Peppercorn out when she was shedding, she about jumped out of my hands. She was not happy, and it was not good. You did some looking and found a reputable dealer for when you're ready to build a reptile enclosure. Good. Emerald Scales isn't too far away from where you are. Very cool. I did this myself. It's not a, it's an Exoterra. Yeah. Yeah. Biscuit is not, but Peppercorn is pre-shed, and she's feisty when she's pre-shed. All right, Artemage. You have a good Zoom with your family. A lot more personable than my turtles. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, what were we gonna do? Let's show off this model one more time. I think it actually looking pretty good. Okay, let's show this off. There we go. I need to work on the face, but it's not something I think I can do with ease on stream. But we got a lot of the colors blocked in for everything. I like how close it is to the art card. Pretty dang close. And here is my other Santa. There we go. 2 holiday minis. Let's do some whip trips. Is it time? Oh, it's 5:30. It's so late. You just am looking for. I think we should, if it's okay with you guys. I know my UK friends are probably really tired, but I'm gonna do my whip trips now. Usually we don't do it this late, but we're gonna do it, I promised. So let's see what people are working on. Let's see. Where is the triptych? There we go. So if you want to put your stuff into Live Image Gallery, today is the 25th. That's right. We're going to look at everybody's stuff. Oh wow, Echoes of Death. These are so cute. Wow. Might have to copy you your Echoes of Death Rumble. We got Benjamin's Primes, Buckeyes, and let me just open. Oh my gosh, these are so good. Lots and lots of yummy foods. Oh, I'm so happy you guys posted all your Christmas food. Let's see if we can get a bunch to show. Oh, cookies. Oh my goodness. Double Fruity's cookies. All right, I've got a lot of things open, so we're gonna look at these. There we go. Oh, I gotta switch this. Bear with me. Okay. Take a look at this. This is Rumble. This is, can you guys see that okay? This is Rumble's Echoes of Death mini. That's the sniper, I believe. That is really beautiful. I'm really looking forward to seeing that painted. What else do we have? We've got, this is Benjamin's Prime's Buckeyes. So if you guys have never had Buckeyes, they're these peanut butter balls dipped in chocolate. They're really good. Really, really, really good. Like I said, those are Benjamin Prime. Yeah, they do look tasty, and Buckeyes are very tasty. Okay, and then he's got, let's see, he said the old photo of the bulky ones, these were the bulky ones. The second batch was smaller. So usually they look like a smooth, round peanut butter center. Okay, and this one is also, how do I show this? Hold on, I gotta adjust the image so you can take a peek at this better. Oh, no, that is it. So it is, he doesn't say who it is, but it's this guy from, it's a burger, cheeseburger as a base. That's brilliant. And then it's the guy from, it is a hamburger base. I know, and it's fantastic. Pulp Fiction, thank you, Pulp Fiction. What's the name of the actor? It's a Royale with cheese. Jules. Thank you. Jules from Pulp Fiction. That's going to be amazing. The Big Kahuna Burger. I need to see that. Oh, whose is this? This is Spear. Spear, is this a wheat bread? Oh, man, I miss bread so bad. Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, that's who it was. Samuel L. Jackson. His character Jules from Pulp Fiction on a burger, a royal burger, royal burger. Oh my gosh, what? My mouth is watering. Home baked mince pies with suspiciously high brandy and sherry content. That sounds so good. And then this belongs to Amberden. Oh my yum. This is British food, by the way, guys. Huge plate of turkey with all the trimmings. Almost had a disaster when the dang thing didn't defrost, so spent 3 hours soaking in lukewarm water to recover the situation. It's a good thing you thought it. Mince pies. Thank you for following, Phoenix Rose. Christmas is complete. Oh, this is beautiful. So this is Yvette's Fox. What's the name of it? It's the Ring-tailed Vixen. And you can see the ringtails, the rings on the tails. So cute. Ring-tailed Vixen, the back of it. She doesn't have the other pictures though. Boozy mince pies for the win. All right, the next one belongs to Spear. Oh wow, that is fancy. Wow, are you building a boat? Victory cross section, early work in progress. You don't want to see another mince pie. But Laura, did you eat a lot of mince pie? This belongs to Kefa. I don't think he's still here, but he did this amazing dwarf. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. I love it. Close up so you can see his layering. Yeah, it is nice. Oh my goodness. So this is Rumble Double Fruities baking treats and for friends and hospital colleagues. Are those the ginger cookies from before? I don't know what this batch right there is. What is this? This looks amazing. I love it. I think these are ginger cookies and maybe chocolate macadamia nut cookies. Mmm. Fudge. Mmm. That's one thing I miss. Mike bought some pecan pie for himself and a pecan dandy for me, a gluten-free dandy. It's kind of like a slice. Okay, and then, yep, there's the, okay. So real quick, we've got more. Got more yummies to look at. I love looking at people's foods. Let me close all those out real quick. So my frame rate doesn't go crazy. All right, next Oh, we've got a beautiful Batelur's Archangel with Reaper Mouse. Okay, give me a second. Oh my gosh. Kingfisher Games has an Instagram I'm gonna put up. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, there's only a few left. This belongs to Bateleur. This is the Reaper Mouseling right here. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Oh. And then this beautiful Archangel. That's going to be gorgeous. Oh. That's beautiful. Love it. Yeah, they are great, Bachelor. Let's see the backs. Oh, wow. That's going to be really pretty. Very nice. Very cool. So Bachelor posted this. If you guys haven't seen, I don't know where you got this photo. But this is the backed up Royal Mail sorting service. So all of this is mail from the UK, or in the UK sorting service. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. You bought a 8-pound salmon fillet for sashimi. That was the smallest. My parcel is in there. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Bachelor. At least it will get there eventually. It will get there. Mine too. Oh no. And this is gorgeous. Wait a second. Oh my goodness. What a neat dice holder. So this is from Morgan the Hated leather dice bag I made. How amazing. That's gorgeous, Morgan. I love it. Love it. Diomedes does some amazing leather work as well. And this is Kingfisher. It says, progress so far on Marvel United. Oh, these are those Marvel chibis. They're so cute. Still plugging along. Lots of work to do, but very excited to try and flip these. First venture into this side of things. Oh, that's so cool. Let's see if there's... Oh, that's very cool. Oh, Red Skull. Was his name Red Skull? I think. Very cool. Very cool. I'm so glad to have streamed today. I hope that everybody is having a great Christmas. Bottom loading dice bag. Kind of weird to say. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and look for somebody to stream and raid. Let's see who is on. And I'm hoping to be back on Monday. Don't forget the 30th. The 30th, we're going to do our big thingamajig. Let's see. We're going to, that's our giveaway. That's our giveaway. Doesn't look like anybody is on. Giggling Geekette is on. So we're going to raid her. She's painting a St. Nicholas. It looks like might be from Reaper. So there we go. Thank you guys so much. Let me go ahead and start my end time music. There we go. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.